What's up YouTube, Capital G here, talking about our good buddy Gofu in this video and why this card should not get hit on the ban list. Not yet anyways. I think that a lot of people probably haven't realized this yet, or at least I'll say in my opinion. I think Gofu is incredibly important to getting the Link Summon mechanic off of the ground and making sure that it doesn't feel stagnant and just kind of irrelevant within the first 6 months to a year of the new mechanic being introduced into the game. Now, Konami would probably never come out and admit this, but we all know it, so I mean, we can just kind of speak briefly about it. Usually when Konami introduces a new mechanic into the game, there's one card that absolutely breaks the fuck out of that mechanic, and it's good because it makes it appealing for people to play, whether they're casual, whether they're competitive. It usually gets people to embrace that mechanic rather easily and quickly. And you can look at examples in the past. Like if we looked at the last 3 major mechanics that we've gotten, what was the one mechanic that was kind of irrelevant at the beginning? Obviously it was Pendulum, because you guys know when Duelist Alliance came out, we had Pendulum monsters. Obviously we had a little bit of Performer Powers if I'm not mistaken, but nobody embraced the Pendulum Summon. Nobody was rocking with those cards. Nobody was playing any of those archetypes because Konami didn't give us a reason to. There was nothing that made the mechanic like incredibly powerful. There was nothing drawing us into Pendulum Summoning. So what ended up happening? We ended up playing a whole bunch of archetypes, but they were Tellarknights and Shadows, Burning Abyss, and Baxia, and we ended up playing a whole bunch of mechanics that we had already played in the past. You know, Synchro, Fusion, Xyz, etc., etc. Nobody was really playing the Pendulum mechanic because there wasn't that card that just said, man, you guys gotta play Pendulums because this card makes it so easy. But if you look at the beginning of Zexal, if you look at the beginning of 5Ds, there were cards in the game that broke those mechanics even on a competitive level, that just said, man, you've got to play this deck. If you guys look at when Duelist Genesis came out, everybody knows how important Destiny Hero Malicious was for Teledad. I want to say that it's the heart and soul of the deck because it did everything for Teledad. It let you dig deeper into your deck, the draw power with D-Draw, Allure of Darkness. You could send it straight to the graveyard with something like, what's it called, Grepher or Armageddon Knight. I don't know how many people really played Armageddon Knights in Teledad. It could be used for other utility cards like Crush Card Virus, and then of course it helps you synchro summon relatively easy because it plus a Krebons was an instant, level 8 synchro, and a lot of times you didn't even have to use a normal summon because you could teleport out your Krebons and then you could special summon your Malicious, and it made dropping synchros so easily that Teledad became a tier 0 deck, and it's like everybody embraced it. It made the synchro summon so appealing that everybody was like, dude, we got to get on this. The first Shonen Jump, was like 50% Glad Beast, 50% Teledads. After that, it was all Teledad. If you look at the beginning of Zexal, Generation Force, I'd argue that there wasn't that amazing broken card in that set, but we had Tour Guide from the Underworld and Extreme Victory. And once people learned that that was a 1 card rank 3 Xyz, and then in the second set of Zexal, Photon Shockwave, we started getting Zemmighty, and we had Levier, which worked with Dino Rabbit. I mean, pretty much at that point, it was all hands on deck. Tour Guide was like the best card in the game, and everybody acknowledged, oh my god, what this card does for the new mechanic. You can just normal summon it, you get your Zemmighty, and then you can just pop off, you get your Dino Rabbit plays going. Next turn, you normal summon your Tour Guide, go into Levier. The fact that it could bring Sangan out of the deck, these are cards that made the new mechanics so easy to embrace because they were so powerful. And if Konami ends up hitting Gofu, like let's say we get our new ban list, and I don't know what their timetable is. They say September, but let's just say we get our new ban list in like 3 weeks and Gofu's limited to 1. What's really the point of trying to play Links? Links are not being embraced, number 1 right now because of Zodiac and True Dracos, but even if they do hit those decks, what is really the reason to play Links? Like, there's no card that makes Link summoning that easy. There's no card that makes it where it's like, man, I gotta play this. It's just, it's too damn good not to play. And I think that you need those type of cards, at least for a time. You look at Teledad and the fact that we had Malicious at 3, and then what happened? Konami said, all right, guys, you've had your 6 months of fun. Let's go ahead and kill Teledad off. They semi-limited Destiny Hero Malicious, but at that time, it was like, all right, that's fine. We've already got Blackwings, which is another tier 1 synchro deck. People already started making the Synchro Cat deck, and that was another tier 1 synchro deck. So it's like by the time that they hit the card, we already had enough synchro archetypes where we were fine and we were fully acclimated to the mechanic. But I'm not sure that that's going to happen right now because a lot of people are bad mouthing World Chalice and, some of the archetypes that are coming out right now, they don't necessarily look like those tier 1 powerhouses. If Konami doesn't let us have these cards that break the Link mechanic, then we're going to essentially need like a Cleefort level deck. We're going to need something that is so far ahead of the game, or, you know, God forbid, Necros level, where it's like you got to play this if they want people to embrace the mechanic, because if not, what reason do people have to play the new mechanic? Like, can you guys really see a reason moving forward that you have to play, you know, something that is Link based? Because everybody keeps talking about Magic Bullet this, Magic Bullet that, and that is obviously not a Link based deck. So Konami is going to have to give us a reason to play the new mechanic. Otherwise, people are just gonna kind of ignore it and play whatever is the best. And I don't know, I feel like GoFu should have its time to shine. They should basically let this thing reign and tolerate it until it becomes like so broken where it's like, all right, we just got to get this shit out. Because I expect fully by about the 3rd set, Extreme Force, I expect us to start getting some broken like Link 3 monsters, Link 4 monsters, and obviously GoFu was a 1-card Link 3 without even using your normal summon. But I think that we do need that time for a card to kind of break the Link summon mechanic before, or for people to actually embrace it, because history has shown us when you give people that, people will embrace the new mechanic right out of the gate. People embrace Synchro Summoning right out of the gate. They embrace XC Summoning right out of the gate. With Pendulum Summoning, it kind of took people, it took people a while, and it was, again, only because Cleefort was that powerful of a deck. So you guys let me know. Some people are probably gonna be like, Cap G, you are wrong. They should not leave GoFu at 3 because it's broken. But to those people, I would say, well, what if they would have put Malicious at 1 before Teledad, you know, before Duelist Alliance came, or excuse me, before Duelist Genesis came out? Like, nobody would have played Synchro decks. Everybody would have just kept playing Glad Beast, and there would have been no reason to embrace the mechanic until maybe Black Wings came out. But I guess that's the debate we'll have in the comment section. Anyways, whatever you guys think, leave it in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already. And again, I'm not saying GoFu should stay at 3 forever. I'm just saying it should stay at 3 probably for at least the next 6 months until Links become a good, healthy part of the competitive meta. Konami did not make this new mechanic so that people could just ignore them. Like, we kind of do need some Link decks to be like tier 1. Otherwise, it's just going to get boring, and it's going to be like, well, what was the fucking point of even making this mechanic? Like, if it didn't really do anything. Anyways, I'm done. And actually, a side note, I know that Konami might have plans for Rescue Ferret kind of being that monster that breaks the Link summon mechanic, but I don't know if I really see this. I mean, the last couple of rescue monsters, including Ferret, like, they haven't really done anything in a competitive meta. They've basically seen no play at all. Obviously, I'm talking about Rescue Hamster. You kind of have to go back to Rescue Rabbit for a card that, like, kind of broke the mechanic, where obviously everybody knows about Dino Rabbit and how powerful that is. So, like, I don't really know if I see Rescue Ferret ever being that monster, but GoFu could definitely be that monster if they give us some really, really good, powerful, like, Link 3 monsters. This video has been brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at audible.com/megacapitalG. Over 180,000 titles to choose from on your mobile device. I'm listening to the amazing I Can't Make This Up by Kevin Hart. Link in the description.